Hello YouTube, this is the Pokemon Skyfire, bringing you another Pokemon 5th generation Wi-Fi battle video. I am playing White 2 in this one, and the battle is against ThaKiddJay from the Wi-Fi battle battler on Smogon.com. In the Smogon Wi-Fi battle battler, I am known as Captain Skyfire, and when I looked at the T, I kind of figured to myself, here we go again. I see a rain team on there, but there was no Ferrothorn, so I said to myself, even with the T that I have, I may have a chance. I said, usually the chance is slim, but if I do things right, things could turn a little different. And prediction was pretty much this one too. Since I already knew that his turn up, which is his Politoed, was going to come out, I easily made the prediction of going into Luddington, which is my Raikou. Apparently, you already know that most Politoeds in the Wi-Fi battles will have to come with Drizzle. You'll probably never see a Politoed with Drizzle, or without Drizzle, I should say, that's not in a Wi-Fi battle. So, I'm going to start off with a Calm Mind to set myself up with +1 special attack and special defense. While it goes for Toxic, I usually would see either Perish Song or Toxic or something, but I guess that'll work as well. So, okay, so I'm Toxic. I only take about 20 points of damage to start, so I just figured myself, I want to try to get some things out, so I go for a second Calm Mind, while it goes for a Scald, and I won't take a lot, but my Air Balloon will pop, so anybody who does use Earthquake will probably have a chance to KO Raikou. But he's going to switch out, he's going to bring in Starfruit, which is his Jirachi, and I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt to start, which probably should take at least 50%, unless it's max HP, max defense, but I'm looking at this one, it is probably not. So I figured to myself, I only had maybe 2 moves left in this. So I'm going to use Thunderbolt yet again, stab +2, which should be a KO on the Jirachi, and so I am starting off in a good measure already. Now, I had 1 move left, and now that I saw Politoed, I figured this should be an easy Thunderbolt. You're right. Here comes Protect. So, that went just right down the drain. So, that was a major goof on my part. I didn't know that any Politoed would usually cover Protect, but, I guess when it comes down to Toxic, the usual routine of Toxic Protect, I guess that's going to happen anyway. So, I'm going to bring a Skycatcher, which is my Togekiss. I'm going to go for Air Slash to see if I could get a flinch. No flinch there, so it's going to go for a Scald. And it's not going to take much. Only about 109 points of damage, so I figured to myself, maybe I would see if I could boost up a little bit of the special attack. So, I go for a Nasty Plot to put myself at +2 special attack, while I figured it was going to go for another Scald, which I predicted that, and usually I would think that a critical might come between now and then, but even with that, I still had a chance of possibly getting a good notion on this Skycatcher to defeat Politoed, but he used Protect again. I should have probably went for a second Nasty Plot, but I guess he was trying to scout out and see what I was going to do next. I could have did a second Nasty Plot, but I decided to go for the Air Slash anyway. Speaking of Air Slash, I do that and I inflict a flinch on that Politoed, which was good timing, because now I can induce a switch to happen. So he switches out, brings in Dragonite, and I'm going to go for Air Slash again. Now, I was a little funny to see whether or not I was going to pass the speed tie between Dragonite and Togekiss. Unfortunately, I didn't. The Thunder will KO Skycatcher, although I do wonder why Thunder? You could have did anything. Maybe even a Dragon Pulse or something like that would have did better than that. So, I'm going to go for Lilley to come in, which is my Pachirisu. I am going to inflict the Thunder Wave to paralyze the Dragonite, hoping for a Parahax to start. Instead, he goes for Thunder, and I'm looking like, what? Thunder on an electric type. Interesting. Maybe he's trying to flint the Paralyze on it. That did not work. So he's going to switch out and bring in No Feet, which is his Landorus. I go for the Super Fang, which takes it down to half. And I was hoping this thing was going to stay in because now I can do my funny, which is usually to start stalling. And unfortunately, it goes for Hidden Power first. I was wondering what kind of a Hidden Power is that? I didn't know, but it took a lot because of a crit. So I already knew the Earthquake was going to come, so I am going to go for the Charm. What I did want to do was do the Attract first, but then I was afraid that he was going to get out of the Attract and go for Earthquake, so I decided to go for the -2 attack on the Landorus to see if possibly that Lilley could survive an Earthquake. That's if Landorus does it, but unfortunately it doesn't, even with -2 attack, so unfortunately the Earthquake is going to KO Lilley. With that in mind, the main play now was to see if he was going to switch again, especially once Dyersville comes in, which is my Omastar. I predicted the switch again, and with that, he's going to bring in Terrakion, and this play was probably the best I've done because what I did was something I usually would never do before when it comes down to seeing a Terrakion, especially when you know that most people start off using them as Scarfed. I did do a Shell Smash to put Dyersville up at -1 defense, special defense, but +2 attack, special attack, and speed. Knowing that Terrakion is Scarfed and goes for the close combat, I did the best thing I ever did with that was to put a Focus Sash on Dyersville. While Terrakion goes for -1 defense and special defense, I get to go for the Surf. Oh, but there's one other thing about Dyersville. Dyersville gets more speed. Now he's at the +3 speed along with the +2 attack and special attack. While I go for the Surf, and knowing that Raikou has a Scarf, there's probably not much of a way that would make it survive unless it was running something else. But I already know that Stab +2 Water Induced Surf on a -1 would one-hit KO the Terrakion. Next up would be the Conqueror, which is named 2 Stones. And again, +2 Stab, Weather Reduced Surf is a one-hit KO on the Conqueror. And I'm looking at Dyersville, this is going to be ridiculous. So, Politoed comes back in, and I'm looking at myself, this Ancient Power probably should work to KO the Politoed, and it does. And now, it looks like Dragonite is his last Pokemon, and the Ancient Power will go off, and if it hits, it might be a one-hit KO because it's +2 in Stab, and it does. Dragonite faints. Good game to ThaKiddJay, and I think that's pretty much it from there. Because, I thought Dragonite was his last Pokemon. It's actually Landorus, which is named No Feet, which I didn't forget about. I forgot about that. Stab +2 Weather Reduced Surf will one-hit KO the Landorus, and that is going to be a good game to ThaKiddJay. So I'm very, very surprised that with an OU team like that I bring out the best Pokemon that would fit for something like this. That would be Dyersville Omastar. I think that is the first time that I actually did good with Dyersville, because mostly Dyersville is the one that would be focused to take out Ferrothorns, Scizors, and probably a Scavaliers too, because those are the 3 Pokemon which I kind of get annoyed at when it comes down to rain teams, because you know fire doesn't work on them, and so you have to find another way in order to defeat them. And in a case for ones like Scizor and Fortress and like that, you have to find some way to get fire to work without being so obvious. And so Dyersville was the one. Thank you very much to Omastar for helping me to get the win on that one. Anyways, rate, comment, subscribe, give it a like. This is Skyfire saying have a nice day and see you next time.